Good morning, Paynesville. I'm Maggie Gilmore. Alex and Troy couldn't be here today. Welcome to our final broadcast of this school year. We would like to dedicate today's show to the class of 2012. We wish you the best of luck as you move forward in the next chapter of your lives. Now to the news. Prom was held on May 5th, and despite the rain of the event was a huge success. Here are a few highlights of the event. High school and middle school will be receiving all new computers in the computer labs next year. The new machines have already arrived and are starting to be set up. The entire school district will also have public wireless access next year. Students and staff are really looking forward to the increased wireless access. Mr. Piepenberg's taxidermy class has been busy creating some incredible works of art this school year. We now go to Mr. P for more about his program and recent projects.
Oh, not I'm Mr. Piepenberg. You just saw some of the pictures from Taxidermy, or you'll see pictures from Taxidermy. We get a wide variety of students in there. This time we have 4 girls in there. Some people are getting their own projects if they need projects. We help them get projects, and they really put some effort in it. They take some pride in their work. Things that they get out of it. Some of the young people are into airbrushing. They learn airbrushing techniques. They work hard on it. By the time they're finished with this, they should be able to do a bird on their own, not have to take it to a taxidermist. The things they're going to learn, all kinds of anatomy. Anything comparative anatomy with a human body or anything like that. Natural history of the bird. If you notice, all these pictures are going to be in a natural state. They want them to look the way they would in the wild. Other things they get, they are very good at observation skills. They'll look at other taxidermy works or birds in the wild right now, and they can tell what's fake in let's say Cabela's. What's a good taxidermy job? They know what's appropriate, what it's supposed to look like. That's one of the different things. You saw a picture of the otter before. Those boys, the first time we ever tried that project in field biology, we did 2 raccoons, an otter, red fox, and a coyote. And the comparative anatomy was just outrageous. It made doing the human body skeleton so easy. By the time it was all over with, it was second nature because they worked with it so much. They took the animal, they skinned it out, they took the flesh off of it, and then they put it back together. And most of those things were put together to where they would articulate in some manner.
The FFA just returned from their state competition, and Mrs. Utch received an Egg Education Award. I have more on this story. I'm here with Mrs. Utch, our FFA teacher. So, can you tell us what FFA is and what you guys do?
FFA started in 1928, and it was known as the Future Farmers of America. And then in 1988, they switched it to the National FFA organization because they realized that not every student was going to be a farmer. They wanted that diversity so that it would include all students, whether they were going to be a farmer or going into agriculture, not to be part of this organization. And so what we do is we're active all year long. We have 40 FFA members, and we participate in different events. We do some community service, Adopt the Highway, other activities that involve the community. We also participate in different contests, so each kid is encouraged to be on a team, which then they practice for it, compete, and then hopefully make it to state. We do every month a FFA meeting where we cover different important topics, new business, old business, and then we usually have a recreation event. Last week we had our FFA barn dance, And so that was a new thing for the first time, and we had a really great turnout, and the kids had fun. We had a DJ there, and it was fun. So we try to have fun, and we also do the fruit sales, and so some of the fundraising that we do also helps with that. And we have the test plot out behind the school that we work with the alumni organization on, and that is part of a fundraiser, but also an educational opportunity for our whole school and educating the community and the students.
And I heard that you received a teaching award. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yep. In January, I received the Outstanding Region FFA Advisor Award, or a Teacher Award. And so every region nominates a person, and then you receive this award. So it was a nice honor to get that.
As we look back on the past school year, we have some amazing and exciting events take place. One of the year's highlight was the high school football team's historic season, making it to state for the first time in many decades. I have a look back on the season's great success. So tell us your best moment in this year's football season.
Well, actually, there were about two pretty awesome moments this year. One of them was at Eden Valley when it was a game before the section championship, and they had won 7 straight years in the section, and we beat them 60 to, I can't remember the exact, it was 60 to 24 or something like that. That was a fun game. And then, of course, the bowl game, that was a fun one when all the fans were there and they stormed the field afterwards. So, yeah, those are the two top moments probably.
Okay, and what were some of the highlights in the football season?
I'd say the funnest thing about this year's football season was how everyone came together as a team. Towards the end of the year, it was like a family, and that hasn't happened in Paynesville football in a long time, so that was fun to see. So that was another cool thing.
Awesome. And what were some of the team records broken?
We broke the record for most points scored, most rush yards, most offensive categories as a team we broke, and then we had quite a few individual records too, with Kyle Walters getting the receptions record and Jason getting the longest catch record.
Okay, and what were some of the ones that you have broken?
I broke pretty much every rushing, scoring, and total yards records, along with the single season passing record.
Nice. And what do you think made the team go to state for the second year? Second time in school history.
Yep. Well, I think it was a combination of things, but it all came down to really being a team. It was a team effort, and everyone had each other's back, and that really helped boost us over many teams that probably were more talented, but we had more heart, and we were better working together as a team, so that really helped us.
My top highlight of the season was my first interception at Eden Valley.
Eden Valley 60 to 24.
Beating Bold in the section finals championship game of Florida State.
Having Max Maher as their football coach.
Watching all the fans storm out on the field when we won the game to go to state.
That was pretty awesome.
Here with Max Maher, our football head coach. So, how many years have you been the head coach for Paynesville?
3 years.
Okay, and what do you think made the team break over 24 records and advance to state?
Well, we had a lot of kids that worked really hard in the off season, a lot of really athletic kids, and they're on the same page working together.
And what were your expectations before the season?
Our expectations were to work as hard as we could throughout the year, and we thought that if we peaked at the right time, we'd be able to compete with any team in the area.
Awesome. And what are your expectations for next season?
To do the same thing. We expect to work hard again this year, improve and play our best football at the end of the year, and hopefully we can compete again with every team in the area.
Awesome. And what was your highlight of the season?
Oh, I think, from a standpoint for the kids, just to be able to beat the close town rival Eden Valley in the playoffs. They had won 7 section titles in a row, and we were able to go over there and beat them, and that's one of the highlights.
And if you could go back to the season, what would you change?
Oh, there's not a lot of things I would change, but as the season was over, certainly we sometimes can dwell a little bit on that last loss, and it would have been nice to win one more and get to the Metrodome and play, but overall there isn't a lot of things that I would change.
We now go to our elementary reporters for this month's elementary school news.
Hi, my name is Sophie Strand and we're interviewing Mrs. Bacchus. How many years have you taught and in what grade levels or areas?
I came 39 years ago. However, I had about 5 years off. I took time off to raise a family and I had cancer 1 year. The grade levels, I taught 3rd grade, and when I came back I went to kindergarten for a couple years, to 1st grade, back to 3rd grade, and now I've been in grade 4 since then, for about 16 years I think, in grade 4.
Is there a particularly funny moment you will always remember from your teaching career, or maybe a special lesson that you really enjoyed teaching in your classroom?
I think the funniest thing I remember was the first year I was in an annex that was attached to the buildings, and I had a sink and counter in there. And the first day that I went to teach art, I was ready to get a watercolor painting lesson ready, and I went over to the sink and there was no water. It turns out it was a fake sink. There was no plumbing to my building at all. So I just had the sink and a faucet, but there was no plumbing hooked up. So I had to haul water out there. Favorite thing that I've enjoyed doing with the kids probably is reading aloud to them. I love reading books.
I'm Eric Johnson and I'm here to interview Miss Sorensen about her retirement. How many years have you taught and in what grade levels or areas?
Taught 38 years plus 2. How many is that, Eric?
40.
Great.
Is there a particularly funny moment you will always remember from your teaching career, or maybe a special lesson that you really enjoyed teaching in your classroom?
I think this plaque says it all. I was out in the annex and the doorknob came off and I was locked in my room with 26 kids and I couldn't get out of my room. So I had to pound on the wall, and Mrs. Werlinger finally got a hold of me. Mrs. Werlinger finally came and let us out. We were stuck in the room.
The kindergarten classes were recently in an auditorium for their annual kindergarten program. Here are a few highlights from the school.
It's in the victory shop, you know the kind with the honey and the nuts on the top. Along came the child with the pennies of I can spell cat. H-A-T, I can spell cat. C-A-T, I can spell cat. F-A-T, but I can't spell it. Oh, my God. You can do me and it's
Mrs. Varant's middle school child development class hosted a group of elementary school students. We now go to Mrs. Varant for more.
Hello, I'm Jean Brandt, and this is the middle school FACS program, and we have a one-unit child development class, and that's what you're going to be seeing. Each of the 8th grade students is partnered with a kindergartner. In this case, it was the multi-age class from the elementary school. And the 8th graders are charged with making a physical activity, a mental activity, and emotional training activity. And so as you catch them on your video, you'll see them trying different techniques and activities in order to enhance those developments.
The middle school held their spring play. It was a dark and stormy night last week. Our cameras were there to catch the action.
They'll know I came here.
What are you afraid of?
I'm not afraid.
I'll get the patient. Here she is.
The march road is treacherous.
There's only one thing to do.
Not the police.
We must contact the general.
We've tried all last night. He wouldn't come through.
There's interference in the spirit world, but it's bound to clear.
This year, 5th grade students walked over to the middle school last week for their orientation. After eating lunch and playing in the gym, they met with Mrs. Flora to talk about next year's transition. That's it for this episode and the season of BNC-TV. Remember that you can view this episode and all past episodes, as well as many other district videos, on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Paynesville Studios. If any of you are interested in being a part of our BNC-TV team next school year, please see Mr. Dickhausen for an application at registration on August 7th and 8th. And I'm Maggie Gilmore. From all of us at BNC-TV, Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next year. Good luck, seniors, and congratulations. Make us proud and change the world. Thanks, Mr. Burlingame, too, for all of your years of leadership in our district. Good luck to you, too.
Wisdom to younger kids, be yourself. And some stories. Okay, in elementary school, I fell off the spider web. Don't play on those.
Take as many college credit classes as you can.
Yeah, there you go.
Get the free credits. And start early and looking for college and stuff.
Look for opportunities and go for it, otherwise you might regret it.
Enjoy yourself.
Join a school sport because they're really fun.
Don't ever read too much in reading or you'll get detention.
Don't procrastinate. Bring 50 cents to lunch every day.
Glad to be done.
That worked.
Do I have to say the TV line? Video that doesn't reach much publicity.
Oh, shucks.
TV.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's alright. That's
part of our news team. Please stop in the community education office and talk to Mr. Dickinson or email him.
Dickinson. Email us at. Shucks, I totally butchered that.
TV reporters.
It's alright.
Why did she get that little
CTV. Sorry, Alex was violated.
I ran it. It's Troy Spades.
Hello there. And congratulations to you.
Do that, please. I don't know.
Yeah.
My nose is running.